Hi, I'm Kumar Prasoon. I'm the Group Chief Information Officer for Al Safi Group of Companies. We are one of the leading retailers in UAE and one of the popular brands in the Middle East. There are major businesses that encompass our core modus operandi. They are logistics, supply chain, customer centricity, and digital transformation that goes across right from the customer, the consumer behavior to our supply chain. So if you look at blockchain is actually what I see, of course, it's a shared ledger on a trusted computer network. So the first thing that we are looking at is to have a more of customer enhanced efficiency, you know what I'm saying, or I can say more of customer value, which is very important for us. So in order to have the customer efficiency, or I should say in order to have our more enhanced value when it comes to the customer, in order to have these products properly aligned with our consumer requirements and convert into loyalty points and come to rewards. So the first step, what we're gonna take down the line is to have our loyalty program on blockchain. So that's the first thing. Second is how we can have a digital supply chain to meet the demands of the customer. So that's a second area for blockchain, which we should be looking at. And the third thing is how we can empower our logistics in order to have that kind of digital supply chain. So that's the third major area where the blockchain implementation, we are planning to do. I think we had been doing that for almost now years. The reason is, especially I'll take you a very powerful example. Sometime back, on the 1st of January, we launched VAT. The biggest that value-added tax, and the biggest challenge was to have so many systems, integrate on one software platform, which can provide all the data in one data lake, and that data lake can be integrated finally with the financial system, and you can have a thorough financial reconciliation of the VAT. I'm just giving you one use case, one practical example, and it was all this data lake was nothing but more of a software bot, which is so it's a system. So I'll call it more of a software AI, where the software bot was able to create an auto data lake, and that data lake can be then mapped with the Oracle financial system. So which can really, so I'll call it more like a robo-VAT, So that's one concrete example where I see that is running for almost now 7 months. Supply chain is the most interesting and the most difficult part of any running business. When you look at supply chain, it's a demand centric. When you say supply chain, it's a chain of suppliers and the various stakeholders associated with the supply. Now, if you look at it, it's more like a neural network, just like in artificial intelligence basics. So you have the various suppliers, and then they are triggered by a retailer like us, and who is triggered by the millions of customers who are in the stores. So basically the consumer demand gets converted into an activation signal, which is a demand signal, and that demand generation happens at the retail store to the business, and then that demand generation flows back to the suppliers, and that flows back to the manufacturers, who can do the MPS, which is the manufacturing process schedule. So if you look at this they all comply to a complete tree kind of network from the back end to the front end. Now coming back to the blockchain, the moment I said it's a neural network, so the moment there's a network, you need to have a trusted computing. For example, how many devices or products produced in one of the countries where the supplier manufacturing site is there. So how many products are manufactured, how many products are shipped, how many products will be shipped, what is the manufacturing schedule, and how it is going to reach, for example, Dubai or Sharjah, or how it's going to reach here. This entire thing is based on trusted computing. Right now what is happening, some processes are manual, Some processes are still very small application base, and some systems are not integrated. So you have so much of isolated systems in a complete supply chain. So blockchain is going to first modernize all those legacy platforms into one digital transformation layer, point number one. And then basically point two is they will create a secure transaction between various nodes in the supply chain. That is going to be very, very helpful, number one, in the financial evaluation, in the financial budget planning for retailers like us, to how we can have our roadmap attached.